How are things going for everyone? Hello, Sam. The WEF just told you that your money will change in the future. This is the reason you need Bitcoin. We're going to do that. If it's okay with you, please click subscribe and bell below the video to be notified of more videos like this. As soon as I make them, there will be a link to Margex below the movie as well. There is a site called Margex where you can trade coins with borrowed money. They call it a boutique exchange because it's not very big yet, but they have great customer service, and if you use the link below the movie, you can get some free stuff. There will also be a link to Coino. I'm putting out some vids with a professional trader over there. You can talk to professional traders for free if you click on the link below the video. As we move into the next phase of finance, the World Economic Forum told us last week that 98% of central banks are getting ready to start CBDCs. Let's make this clear. A lot of people are going to not understand what a CBDC is. They don't care. They've only heard that it will help them. It will make it easier to pay. They can send money all over the world. They'll say, "Great, how often do you really send money around the world?" First, it's great to have that extra space. How often do you do it, though? Not often, right? They might not even do that once a year for most people. What do you lose? Why lose? Yes, you give up your privacy. The government will be involved in almost every deal we make. They're not trying to get you to do things they don't want you to, unlike banks that probably don't care that much. We know that's what the government does already. That's now what the government does. That's why we have tax breaks. You are supposed to buy a house. They want you to save money for your old age. Do you remember that they want you to live green? What will happen if they say, "Hey, we saw that you've been to the butcher a few times this week. You will not be able to buy as much meat because it is bad for the earth." Or maybe they use a carrot instead of a stick. They might say, people say that central bank money is important for security transactions and payments between banks because it has almost no credit or liquidity risk. It helps institutions make final settlements and keeps the economy stable. Wholesale digital currency from central banks is a type of CEBM that could open up new ways of doing business and integrating different areas that aren't possible now. From what they say, the WEF says that WCBDCs will make it easier to do business across borders. The group does admit, though, that the legal and governmental steps needed for the WCBDC to be widely used don't have a set date. What did we really learn? We learned that most organizations and countries are looking into CBDCs. Again, this is something that some people are likely to fight, right? Some states say they'll never do this. You can see why some people are worried about this. Some people running for president say they're not going to let this happen. Putting money against the government, right? Putting the government in the way of you getting your own money. So why do I talk about this? Yes, we do have the only thing you can really hold yourself at. Bitcoin is a way to send money around the world without using a third party. You are able to use that instrument right now. That's for sale. Oh, and it's 20% off, which is great, right? Discount of 23%. I'm not telling you to put all your money in Bitcoin, but I can see why some people think that's what they need to do. Also, I'm sorry about the bang. Back that way, some people are building a house, but it makes sense that some people would want Bitcoin. It's possible that you don't own anything in a world with CBDCs because you don't have control over anything right now. For example, you don't own your house, right? This place looks like it's mine, but I would lose it if I didn't pay the taxes, right? I still feel like I own the money in the bank, even if it's fully paid off. I can even freeze it. Those kinds of assets happen all the time these days, but the Bitcoin you own right now could be taken away, right? If you break the law and the government tries to take your stuff, they'll need your seed phrase, right? Or I guess you have to move it at some point. If you try to off-ramp it, they might take it. I will now say that this is one reason why you might want to keep Bitcoin instead of Bitcoin ETFs. People have talked to me back and forth about some of the pros of Bitcoin ETFs. One of the cons is that you don't actually own Bitcoin when you own an ETF. That you can take money out and send it all over the world without a middleman, right? You only have the investment side of Bitcoin. You don't have any of its real-world assets. That's a big change. Some of my Bitcoin is in exchange-traded funds ETFs. There are several reasons for that. If you'd like me to talk about that in a coming video, tell me. I agree that having some in both places is good, though. As I already said, some people are making a lot of Bitcoin. Why do some people hold on to Bitcoin when CBDCs are about to come out? There is one guy, Mr. 100, who seems to have bought this dip and now has about 3,700 Bitcoin. That's 3,700 Bitcoin in the last few hours. Look at this. Not less. but more centralization is what we're going towards. Everything is linked. People in the middle want your money all over the place. They need a little. They do something useful. They want 40, 50, 200, 1%, 5 or 10% of your money. Oh, taxes of 40%. Yes. After you pay the 40% taxes, we'll take another 20% if you invest it. We'll take another 6% if you spend it. 20% if you invest it and then spend it. And another 6% after the 40%. Okay, you get it. Of course, you still have to pay taxes, but I think a lot of people are making the right choice by getting into Bitcoin. Click on the links below the video to go to Margex and Coinoo if you want to try to increase your earnings. These links will take you to sites where you can borrow money to buy Bitcoin. You can also buy on the spot on Coinoo. There's also a link to Blofin, where you can trade on the spot or with help. Thanks a lot. Tell me what you think. The next film will be with you. Bye.